Good morning, everyone. My name's Brett Mitchell. I'm the Executive Chairman of Javelin Minerals, and it's great to be here. I think it's now this Resources Rising Stars conference is being considered by all of you here and the companies as probably the preeminent mining conference for junior and mid-cap mining companies in Australia. So it's great to be here. Thanks to Sharon, Nick and Paul for putting it on, and especially to Sharon, because I think she does most of the work and the other two just sort of get dragged along, so thanks Sharon. Listen, it's great to be here, and following on from Hedley's pretty bullish outlook for the gold sector and the gold price, it's pretty easy to follow on with this story now. As you can see from this opening slide, you know, it's a very powerful image, and for a junior explorer and brownfields developer. We've got two brownfields gold projects, 50 kilometres north and 50 kilometres south of Coogee. And I was here 12 months ago, and we just recapitalised and relaunched the company off the back of the Coogee gold project, which was previously mined by Ramelius in 2012-13. Over the last 12 months, through the usual combination that delivers success in life of hard work, good timing and some good luck, we've then gone and bought the Eureka project off Delta Lithium, which was a non-core project of theirs for $3 million at the start of this year, which is $1.5 million of cash and $1.5 million of equity. And we've drilled both projects and got them, increased the resources of both of those projects to over 100,000 ounces each project this year. And we've just signed a transformational deal, as Stuart just said, with Mega Resources. And that was announced yesterday. Excuse me. I'll just grab a drink. Sorry about that. With the Mega Resources deal is transformational for this company. Mega are a very large, they're one of the leading mining contract firms in WA, in the goldfields. They're a very serious operation. They've got about $18 billion worth of mining contracts in their contract pipeline. And they are bringing to Eureka to get it into production in Q2 next year. All the capital, $25 million, all the people, all the equipment. We're doing a 50-50 profit split on the project. It'll start mining in Q2 next year, and it'll be a 12-month mining operation. Through that mining operation, we've also negotiated to receive $250,000 in a cash prepayment on our profit share, starting from the month that we start processing the ore. So we're in addition to the 50-50 profit split, we're getting advance on that in a cash flow dropping into the company from Q3 next year. And in addition to all of that, Mega cornerstoned a placement, $4.5 million placement yesterday, which was also done, didn't even go out to brokers, the term sheet wasn't even distributed, it was done to insiders and another private mining services company that missed out on the Eureka contract, a very wealthy WA mining family, also put $1 million into the raise. So now we're fully funded, we've got cash flow coming in from the middle of next year, and we're in a very unique position for a junior explorer and brownfields developer. The disclaimer slide, I heard my mate Billy Beeman say yesterday he pays a lot of money to his lawyers for his disclaimer slide, so I thought I should just copy and paste that and use that, so that don't tell Bill. But we're now in an amazing position as Javelin. We're being highly leveraged to this Eureka cash flow moving forward. You know, the timing's just fantastic, as outlined by Hedley for gold explorers and near-term producers. You know, we've got two projects, both of them are on mining licences, which is, as you would all appreciate and understand in this current environment, to have projects on mining licences where you can get them into production, generating cash flow, is critical. Because in Australia now, in Western Australia, leading mining state, being a bit parochial, but you know, what 3 or 4 years ago took 18 months to convert an exploration licence into a mining licence is now 5 years plus. Both of our projects are on mining licences. Eureka, we've increased the resource this year to over 100,000 ounces. At nearly 1.7 grams, and the indicated resource was increased by 27%. We've got a 12-month mining plan at Eureka, starting Q2 26, ending in Q2 27. and discussions, we're well advanced in discussions with a nearby mill to process that ore, and hopefully we'll be making a very positive announcement on that to the market shortly. As I touched on, we keep 50% of the profit from the Eureka project, but also we negotiated into the contract if we bring any other resources into the contract with Mega, we'd actually keep 70% of that profit. And as I touched on previously, we're going to get an advanced cash flow payment on our profit from the month that we start milling the Eureka ore, which I expect will happen in Q3 next year. So yeah, we're in an amazingly strong position. We'll have over $5 million cash at the bank after this settlement of this placement, which was announced yesterday. We've got scope to increase the Eureka resource through production drilling underneath the pit, and also some exploration upside to the high-grade zones to the north of the pit, which will be following up in later this year and early next year. And not to forget Coogee, our other project, on a mining licence, over 126,000 ounces, just over a gram of inferred resource at this point in time. But we've got some pretty high impact exploration targets we're going to be following up at Coogee, which haven't been drill tested for a long time. We've also had Mark Cossum just join our team. And Mark is a very highly experienced exploration and resources, well, he's the Managing Director of Gateway Resources up until a year ago, so you probably might even know him from that, and comes out of the Peter Langworthy team. The board, you see there, myself, corporate finance background and capital markets. Andy Rich is a very well-known and highly respected mining engineer, run underground mines, and he's the Executive Director at Brightstar. Peter Guilford is the CFO at Delta. Michael Edwards is here with us, and he's a very well-known exploration geologist and corporate executive in the WA mining industry. We've also announced as part of the placement yesterday and the deal with Mega, a much-needed share consolidation. So we're doing a 1-for-31 crunch. We'll be announcing, be holding a general meeting in the coming month, probably the 1st of November as our AGM. And out the back of that, we'll go from 8 billion shares on issue after this capital raising of 4.5 mil down to 260 million. So that's been one of the slights on the company, which we've known about for for the last year, since I stepped up to take on the exec chair role and recapitalise and relaunch the company. And now we're dealing with that, and we'll have a nice tight share capital structure as of the 1st of November or early November after the AGM. 5 million cash in the bank, 24 million market cap, and highly leveraged to the cash flows that are going to be coming in through the Eureka project. There's an image of Eureka. The pit's in really good shape, and we're going to be commencing work on that in the coming month with Mega. And as I said, we're targeting getting it into production in Q2. Okay, so Eureka is on 4 granted mining leases. It's 50 k's north of Kalgoorlie and ideally only 20 kilometres north of the Paddington Mill. It's gone through a number of mining phases, most recently in 2018, and over 32,000 ounces have been mined, with very good oxide and fresh rock recoveries of 95 and 90% respectively. Of the drilling we completed in the July program this year, we got some really nice long and some very wide spaced intercepts south of the pit, which increased the resource, being 26 metres at nearly 1.4 and 23 metres at 1.2. And also this high grade zone north of the pit, which we'll be doing following up drilling on later this year, has got some very, very interesting intercepts, 4 metres at 134, 3 metres at 48. It's pretty high grade stuff. Okay, the Mega contract, as I've touched on there, Mega stands for Mining, Engineering, Geological and Approval, so they're a fully fledged and a full service operator. They provide all the capital to the Eureka mining project, the full $25 million. Mining to commence in Q2, as I've touched on, we get 50% of those profits and 70% of any profits from any additional resources we bring into the JV outside of the Eureka pit. I've also said it's really critical for a junior company to have $250,000 a month falling into the bank account from Q3 next year, on top of the $5 million we've got in the bank right now. That means that we're not coming back to the market ever again unless we're going and buying a substantial asset in the future. And maybe we'll do that, which would be good. The resource that we upgraded resource we put out in July this year had a 27% increase in the indicated resource to 78,000 ounces at 1.8 grams, and that's what we're looking to mine at the southern end of the Eureka pit starting in Q2 next year. We've also got the opportunity to, and our strategy is look to extend that resource below the Eureka pit where the existing ore body dips to the north-northwest. We'll be targeting that in an upcoming drilling campaign starting later this year, along with those high-grade zones further to the north of the Eureka pit. And just on that drilling program at Eureka, we still haven't scratched the surface. And I'm speaking to one of the most successful mining explorers walking around here who used to run Spartan, and saying yesterday that once we start mining Eureka, we're more than likely to find more ore than we think there's there. But we're just focused on that 78,000 ounces of indicated resource at this point in time. Having Mark Cossum join the team is really a big coup for the company. He's a highly experienced exploration and resources geologist, and taking on this role is just fantastic for the company. He's really highly regarded. He's only just joined the team a few weeks ago, and he's going to now be driving the exploration programs and strategies, both for increasing the resource at Eureka and the exploration upside here and at Coogee. Coogee, really quickly, on an ML, 50k south of Kalgoorlie. It has an existing resource of over 126,000 ounces on it, just over a gram. Ramelius mined it back in 2012, 2013, where they pulled out 20,000 ounces at nearly 5 grams. So that gives you some feel for the prospectivity. On the drilling program that we did late last year, earlier this year, we got some really nice intercepts of 10 metres at 4.5 grams underneath the pit, and then further to the north where there's a copper gold zone, which needs more work and interpretation of exactly what's going on there. Is it a VMS system or not? We're not too sure, but 5 metres at 4 with 3 metres at over 2 grams, 2% copper, sorry, and 7 metres at 6 and over 2.5% copper is some pretty interesting results to follow up. The other thing with at Coogee, we've got 5 exploration licences alongside the mining licence, which have only had very, very light exploration done on them previously and historically. As you can tell from this graphic, the rectangular shaped licence is the mining licence. The next tenement to the left has a magnetic anomaly sitting on it, which is now gone following the review just recently done last week by Mark and Peter Langworthy and his team. That's our priority 1 target at Coogee. It's got some very shallow drilling over it historically, at wide space, sort of 200 metre sort of fence line drilling down to only about 20 metres, which has sort of anomalous gold in nearly every hole. So we're going to be going out and drilling that big mag anomaly, which sits about 500 metres down from surface later this year. We're really well funded, and to be in this position as a junior explorer, to be a fully funded exploration company with some key targets, with money in the bank. 5 million was a very healthy position, plus cash flow starting to come in from the Eureka mining starting Q3 next year. It's an amazing position to be in. We're really excited about the opportunity that we've got in front of us now. We've got to deliver value for shareholders, and I'm one of the largest shareholders, as Delta is as well. David Bosio and 708 Capital. But to be leveraging off the near-term production opportunity starting Q2 next year with Eureka, putting more cash in the bank, and then fully funded to fast track our exploration campaign on Coogee, Eureka, but we're also looking at other exploration assets as well in the WA goldfields, and we're hopefully down the track of looking to secure a pretty exciting greenfields exploration project to add to the portfolio in the coming months. So thank you very much for your time. If you feel want to come and see me at the booth, or Mike or Rachel, the Javelin team, please do. Thanks for your time.